Hi, so we're both down at the allotment this morning.
Morning.
He's there. It's a really lovely morning, a bit of mist in the air, a bit of breath as well, but it's glorious. And what we're going to be doing this morning is planting up onions and garlic, but we're going to plant it up the way that Dad used to plant it, because I remembered a couple of weeks ago exactly what he used to do. And in many ways it's not different to other people, but he would plant the bulbs, the onion set or the garlic clove. He only did garlic once or twice, about 3 inches deep, and then would let that grow. Then in February he would then top dress it with fresh compost, because what he believed is that over the winter, when the water came down or the rain came down, it rubbed all the nutrients or rushed all the nutrients out of the soil. So by that time the soil was a bit depleted, and it was best to then top dress with another inch of compost to give fresh food to the growing bulbs.
And is that for onions and garlic?
Onions and garlic, that's what he did with both. So just going to show you now what we're doing. So this is what we're going to be planting today. These are our onions, which are Shakespeare. They are going to be planted between 8 and 10 centimetres apart, in rows 8 to 10 centimetres apart. Some of these are smaller. You could plant them, the small ones, closer, because they mostly won't grow as much, but generally 8 to 10 centimetres apart. If you do want to hoe between the lines of the onions, then actually you're going to need to do them more like 10 to 12 inches, so sort of 15 to 20 centimetres, something like that. I don't think that actually works out, but you're going to have to leave more between the rows, simply because you're going to need to get the hoe in there, and you don't want to disturb the roots as these are growing. On the garlic side, we have our own garlic, which we're going to be growing at the community gardens this year, but we have a relatively new variety called Czechmate. We have Lautrec Wight, or Lautrec Wight, which is from Simply Seeds. Then we have this bulb, which we were given, and we don't know exactly what that is, but I would have thought it looks like some type of white garlic from the garlic farm, because they're always much bigger. And then this one here, this is what we'll be growing. It's actually a Croatian garlic, and they come up as single bulbs, so that's not going to split, and this is what you get off them. This is what we're going to be planting. They're little tiny bulbs, and they form on the bottom like that. So this is Croatian garlic. I think it's more like a Croatian, some type of Croatian leek rather than a garlic, but it's very nice, and it's very nice to roast. So these again are going to be planted with the same depth, which is about 3 inches, then we're going to top dress it, and the same distance as the onions. So we're going to get on and do that now. So with your onions and garlic, you will have obviously two ends. You have the root end and you have the growing end. The growing end is normally more pointy than this, it's more obvious, but it will have a little bit of sort of dead onion skin at the top, and at the bottom you'll find that there's a little root pad. So what you need to ensure is that this root plate is as little damaged as possible when you put it in the soil, so you need to put it in rather than push it in. So you make a hole either with your finger or with a trowel or something, and then put that into the soil like that, top up, and then cover it over. Don't push it into the soil, because that could actually damage the bottom root plate. Okay, I've seen a lot on Facebook recently about people planting garlic and saying that they're taking the skin off the garlic clove. There's no need to take the skin off the garlic clove, so unless there's something absolutely new that says you do that, but I've not seen it, and I don't think you should take any skin off the garlic clove. Just plant it like a whole clove, like you have been doing for years. The other thing is that if you come across a garlic clove like that, which is clearly diseased, don't plant that, because you don't want to add disease to your soil, and B, nothing's really going to come of that.
Do you want to just turn it round so we can see that marking on it?
There.
Yeah.
And you also can feel it's sort of slightly...
Looks rubbery.
Rubbery, yeah. Where this one here has got no, even within that, I can feel it's firm. There's no give that there is in that one. So don't peel your garlic cloves, and make sure you remove any which are diseased or soft. So that's our garlic in this bed and our onions in this bed. So we've got 2 rows of Lautrec Wight, 1 row of Czechmate, 1 row, in fact 3/4 of a row of that unknown variety, which I'm sure came from the Isle of Wight, and a row of the Croatian garlic. And then in here we've got 5 rows of our Shakespeare white onions. So that's a good morning's work done in an hour, about, do you think?
Yeah, probably.
So
Because I was helping.
yeah,
I think you'll
it
find.
would have been 45 minutes otherwise.
It would have been an hour and a half. You'd have been walking around chatting with people.
I would, well, as chair, that's what you need to do. You need to
Oh,
engage
wow.
with people, you see.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
no, but
Good.
So that's a really good job. If you're wondering why we've left things in the beds,
So you're talking about, which you can just about see.
yeah. So here we've got a
Nasturtiums.
nasturtiums in the middle and a marigold here, and we've got marigolds there, and we've got a kale in this one. We're just leaving that because actually, when the first frost comes, it will kill certainly the nasturtiums off. And in the meantime, they've got a few flowers on them, so they're giving pollen to birds, to insects and bees. So they have such shallow roots that when they're frosted down, they're not going to affect the growing of the garlic or of the onions. So there we are. I think that's it now.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right then. We'll say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye then. Thank you for watching, and please Remember, if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button now for lots of notifications, and the bell for notifications of fabulous videos. Okay, bye.